Hey everybody, for those of you that don't know, my name's Hoopy, and today we're going to be building a set of aluminum ATV ramps. So what this stuff here is stuff that I acquired. This is 6-inch aluminum C-channel, and these were cable trays, conduit trays, whatever you want to call it. It's a pretty long piece. I cut it down into 8-foot sections already. That's an 8-foot section, that's an 8-foot. And that one there was all bent up and pieced together, so that one's going to scrap. But yeah, I'm going to cut these up here, and I'm going to show you how to build a nice set of lightweight ramps that are going to be strong enough to hold your razor or whatever else, and I'm not going to have hardly anything in these. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go through here and cut all these old bolts off and get these rungs out of here. This was being used as a ladder, is why it got scrapped, and that is misappropriate because there is no weight rating on those steps. They bow when you push on them. So I'm gonna get set up here and I'm gonna start trimming all these bolts off. So I got all the heads of the bolts cut off, and then what you see me going back down here through here doing was there was little tack welds on each one of these, on every one of these rungs. So I was going down through there cutting those tack welds. So I'm going to get a punch and a hammer. I'm going to knock the bolts out, and then I'll get a chisel, and I'm hopefully going to knock all these rung pieces off. Well, since the hammer and the punch didn't work, at least it was, it was moving them, but it was taking a while. We're going to try the air hammer. I didn't realize it, but there's two little tack welds on the back side of those too. So I'm just going to slice down through these, and then I'll go through there and that'll take them right off. So let me show you why I chose to use these to do this. So because these had factory drilled holes where those bolts went, that means as long as I measured evenly on these holes are going to line right up, and I'm going to be able to bolt these together through those holes. And that's going to give me my flat surface. And that ought to be good and strong because of these 1.5 inch ribs that it's going to have on here. And these things are going to be super light. The steel ramps, I'll put a picture up. That I built for my 22-foot deck over trailer that I built. They probably weigh 200 pounds a piece. They are built to be able to load a skid steer. I made them out of 3-inch C-channel with 2-inch by 1/4 inch angle iron for the treads, and they are completely overkill for anything smaller than a piece of heavy equipment that you want to load. So I'm just going to use 1/4 by 20 bolts and go down through here and bolt this all together. together. This is, I mean, really light. And that's what I'm after. So this ramp's pretty well ideal. It's exactly 1 foot wide. So my theory for tread. I don't know if I want to do this or not, but I'm thinking about it as taking these and bolting them on here about every, I don't know, 6 inches or so. I've got enough out of that one between them all that I should be able to make this happen. Maybe not 6 inches, maybe go about 8. I don't know. Maybe about as far as the steps were. You think that's a good idea? Let me know in the comments. What would you do if you was building a set of aluminum ramps? So, next up on this ramp, I went ahead and I marked it out and I drilled a whole bunch of holes down through there. And then I'm going to take this thing right here, this dimple die. We're going to set it up and I'm going to beat the hell out of this thing on all these. And we're going to make some tread for this ramp. So, I'm going to get to that. So, for anyone that doesn't know what a dimple die is or what it does, it's just little chunks of metal. This one here is 3/4 inch, and this is inverted, and that one's going the other way. And you drill your hole and stick this piece down through, put this one on the bottom, and whenever you hammer it, it does just what it says. It dimples your metal. And that's giving me my tread that I need on my ramps, because these are puckered out now. So I'm going to go ahead and finish these up and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Well, there it is, all dimple dyed out. So doing this, in theory, should have made this stronger, because every time you bend metal, it usually does get harder to bend the other way. And you can actually see, if you look at this, it bowed it up in the middle the whole way down. So that should make it actually a little bit stronger. So here in a little bit, after I go ahead and get the other ramp built, we'll go get the trailer and get the razor and lean these up there and test them out. See how they're going to load. Alright, there the ramps are, all dimple dyed out and ready to go here. So, for testing purposes, I've got one of my buddy's razors sitting in here, and I'm going to stick these ramps onto the back of the old Ford Ranger and pull this razor up on there just to see if they'll hold. Now granted, my razor is a little bit heavier than this one, but for testing purposes this ought to work, because my razor is also as wide as that Ranger, so I'd have to go get my F250 to put it up on there. Well, there you have it. There's how to make a set of cheap homemade aluminum ramps. Ought to work just fine for what I need, loading stuff like this up. So, if you guys like videos like this, go check out the rest of my channel. Thanks for watching.